Anyway, I basically gave up using the bow because it was like pretty much impossible to kill anything with like a shitty ass bow. At least in the start. It might be viable now. I mean, I'm pretty much crafting blue stuff now. So yeah, there's that. And still, arrowheads still do more damage than, well, stone and iron. And I think iron is pretty much the only thing we can make right now, which is not so, well, it's not horrible, but it's still gonna take a fair few hits to kill a stumbling. At least on insane. I'm all over the place right now. Well, I'm basically gonna plan is right now. I'm just gonna keep moving, and if I find a place I haven't been before, I'll try and clear out the place and start looting it, and then probably log out there. So it's not gonna be a long stream. Basically, had an interesting day at work. So yeah, I'll probably. It won't be actually a long stream tonight. If I had a day off tomorrow, I would definitely keep going, but right now, just gonna find a road. That's gonna interlink with that one, isn't it? Yes, and maybe it's actually crossing on that place. Oh look, spikes. It's almost like someone's been here. I wonder who. It's probably Forsaken. Probably. Don't turn off the flashlight. Not like I'm worried or anything, but somebody to my left. It's the zombies that you don't see that'll get you. At least that's my working theory. Like that one behind on my left. Two fatzos in a field. Working tomorrow afternoon. So Saturday and Sunday I start at 15 and probably won't be home till 22:45 thereabouts. So yeah, I'm basically eating up a part or a portion of the time I could spend streaming tomorrow morning. But yeah, it was well, suffice to say, I had an interesting day at work. Basically, one of those days where, well, I didn't actually get physically exhausted. Basically, just my head. So, I mean, each day varies. Some days are straight up routine. Other days are not so much any of that. Wait, did I just run past army camp? No, okay. That's one of those big prefabs, right? Yeah, so as I said, like some days are pure routine. But now it's way into fall, and some of our patients' mood and psyche gets affected in the fall and the spring, and that leads to some cases physical aggression and stuff like that. So it's something to handle. Wait, what? I went into a different biome, so that's why. Hey, Arco. How is it going? So yeah, today was weird. Had to, of sorts, break up a fight between two of our patients and another one who kind of got a little bit sour during the evening. So yeah. So I was pretty exhausted mentally, and when I got back home and Kiara made some lovely food for me, I was happy to be back home. And it felt even better to just be able to log on and start building a little bit in 7SI. I'm doing pretty good. Now I am, after all. I gotten some food in myself, and I got a Coca-Cola. And yeah, I have my snooze, so it's all good. Probably won't be doing that long of a stream. I was actually anticipating a Horde night right now, but it never showed, which is probably for the best, but I'm still not going to trust it until it's morning, so I am thinking about just keeping well, keep on moving, see if I can actually find some place which I haven't been. Actually not sure how that's gonna work out. Hey, Drunken Zombie, that's a while ago. It's been a while. What have you been up to, man? Hey. Nope, nope, nope. We'll have none of you guys. Just want to find a place which I haven't been yet. That does look promising. Gnat? That looks like a very much dead end. Okay. What? Alright, that's peculiar. Alright, so 249. What is with the colors? Wow. Oh right, yeah. Yeah, I kinda have a similar thing. I mean, I generally work 3 shifts. Well, mostly 2 basically. I work day and evening. And on occasion they... What the actual frickin' what? Okay, I'm chased by a bear. Something exploded over there. Okay. Yeah, okay. Let's just go with that. And the bear is now killing zombies. Great. No longer being chased. That's good. Oh, yes. So in my work schedule, I basically have mostly evening shifts, and it's usually full shifts. So, yeah. Starts around 3, finish around, well, back home around 11, thereabouts. And I have 1 day shifts, and on occasion they call me in for like night shifts as well. Which is pretty chill most of the time, but sometimes they're just killers. I mean, each floor has, well, the first and second floor has like 17 patients, I think. Top floor where I mostly work is like 6. And on a night shift I basically have to walk between floors and just help out where needed. So yeah, it can be pretty strenuous if everyone's hanging on the alarm. Then the floors are boiling, basically. It's also probably the main, well, it is the main reason why I don't actually have a schedule for my streaming. I basically don't, What? What? You guys knew I was coming or something? What? What? Okay, I'm even more confused now. What? 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 They died recently, else they would have, well, I don't even know anymore. That was weird. 11 to 8 p.m. But every other week I get 8 to 4 a.m. Oh, right, okay. Yeah, pre-killed horde, apparently. I mean, that wasn't actually that bad. I like this Fairlight. Alright, so that's one of them places. It's around 4 in the morning. And I definitely been there. I think. Pretty sure I've been there. You know what? I will check that place out. I'm hearing nothing. Yeah, I mean, I don't know about those feral hordes nowadays. I mean, they're a little bit iffy. Sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. And it usually goes by the logic. If you're prepared, you won't have one. At least that's the way it is for me. I was slightly panicking before I actually got out the door. And I was still busy building, so... Okay, not cool, guys. I just got below, and you guys are gonna swarm the thing? What?! Okay. Oh, hey now. I don't approve that tone. He's busy beating on something else, so that's fine. Yeah, I mean, what kind of line of work do you actually do, Drunken? If you don't mind me prying. But you basically have 2 shifts. So... copper wire... plank. There you go. What if someone's actually been in here, but that's actually some useful stuff here, so... I wager not. But as I was saying, I mean, if I didn't actually work shifts, then I'd probably have a schedule. Right now, I never really know when I'll be working. I mean, I might actually be called in on a moment's notice. So, would be nice to have some. Oh, why am I getting some lag here? It's weird. Gotcha. Well, I've been thinking about it as of late. I mean, there's I was like reading an article about the death of the workforce. Pretty weird stuff to read about. Basically, work is some cases what defines us. Like, we're a working man, or we're a working woman, or whatever. And we're contributing to society and whatnot. And there's actually some theorists that do believe that sooner or later, a lot of, like, low, I don't know, whatchamacallit, basically work that doesn't actually require, or isn't that complex, will actually be replaced by machines or automation. And they might be right. And in some cases, I mean, some people actually envision a future where we'll just be paid to do whatever we want. Not actually having to clock in at a certain hour. I can't really imagine a society like that. This was actually after World War II, the majority of the people in Norway that was, well, young at the time. Their purpose in life was basically to rebuild the country after the occupation. And that was their purpose. I mean, right now, what kind of purpose do I have? I don't know. Do things I want? But basically, the generation after the guys who rebuilt the country came, they kind of had like a sort of aimlessness. I mean, they didn't actually know exactly what to do. I mean, that's not true for everyone, but that error is gonna annoy me 2 bits. But if I had a choice, I mean, if I could do this instead of going to work, I'd probably do this. But there's a lot of people that want to make streaming their livelihood, but there's very few people that actually make it like that, like they can actually support themselves by streaming, so. There should be one more thing here outside. I was hoping I was going to find a mining helmet, but no luck so far. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird, though. I mean, majority of, well, actually, yeah, I suppose the majority of people that work don't really work because they enjoy it. They work because they have to. I mean, that's just the way things are. Like, you need to make do on rent or your house loan, or yeah. So I've been here, maybe. Yes, probably have. And that means there's a road that goes there that I haven't checked. And it's probably one of the reasons why I actually worked part-time, because oh, right, seriously, this is where I died. I didn't actually finish up this place. 2 from that side, and 2 from this side. This is actually where I died earlier on. I didn't actually finish looting the place, I actually had to get back for whatever reason at the time. But I mean, I always had this idea that I wouldn't actually mind. Yeah, essentially. Spending your life pursuing someone else's dream. Yeah. I mean, I always figured like I wouldn't mind. Like, what I really would like is to have a job which I thoroughly enjoy. Like, I could honestly say that I wake up every morning, it's like, yes, I'm going to do that. But that never happened to me. Or, I mean, then again, you have to find something that you're passionate about. And that is hard to determine. Like, really, what is the driving force? Like, what's really what's something you really thoroughly enjoy? I mean, I could might as well easily say that I like working with computers, but I mean that's way too general these days. I mean, it's like, yeah, pretty much any work is done on a computer. Everything from like typing to, yeah, everything else really. So it's kind of like a generalization, I suppose. I mean, my brother that passed away a couple of years ago now. It's actually, I think it's like 4 years ago now. He actually worked with supercomputers of sorts that was running banking systems on Unix. And he was one of 39 people in Norway that had that special education. So yeah, it was pretty indispensable to the company in that sense. And not everyone was working for that firm itself, so. And he loved it. I mean, then again, he basically said that, I actually made a joke about it because, like, he had a really, really awesome computer. Like, I could never afford that shit, ever, on my salary. And, yeah, basically he got to use it maybe, I don't know, maybe twice per month. Like, he had kids, and he had work, and he was on call, and he was making buttloads of money. And he was enjoying life. I mean, he, like, no two ways about it. He was enjoying life, and he was happy with his wife and all that. And they had great kids. And yeah, he was having a great time. At the same time, he couldn't actually pursue, well, as much gaming as he wanted because, well, he didn't actually have the time for it. So he had a beast of a computer, I remember at the time. Like, I think my computer was like 1/4 or 1/5 of the capacity or the speed of his computer. And I was so envious. And he's like, well, I mean, I don't actually get time to use it. So it's like, there's that. It's like, I suppose, but still, you know, like a supercomputer, and you get to use it like twice a month. Like, well, yeah, but I have other things in my life that actually, that's great. But I still want to sit down and play something now and then. So, but I would probably say that well, basically, okay, this is almost too dark for the stream of sorts, but he died because of an aneurysm in his brain. There was basically an outcropping on, or I don't know if no, that's the right word. Basically, there's a bulge on one of the blood veins, and the doctors told us afterwards, after he passed, that it could have happened when he was born or when he was 90 years old or whatever. Like, there was no way to tell that he had it. But he worked himself to the bone. I mean, he worked really hard, and he was making tons of money, which is great and all. But if I knew, or if he knew, of course, he would probably scale down on his work. I mean, he wouldn't have worked as much if he knew that that could become an issue. But I mean, these are the things you really don't know. Yeah, I mean, I did actually. It did actually hit me pretty hard when he passed. Right now, I'm dealing with it pretty well. I mean, he was probably still the closest family member I had. I mean, he was a guy who, well, he was always there for me, and we had similar interests, and we got on great. I still remember, like, I was being a child because, well, I was a child at the time, and he got upset with me. But that was like the only time, like, we had anything close to an argument. So yeah. But actually, I met Kiara at the same time. I basically, well, we were working at the same place, and I'd kind of looking forward to well, meeting her and working with her as well, getting to know her basically. And I also just started on university. I was gonna follow my brother's passion, which was computers. And 6 days later, after I started uni or college, I don't even know. Basically a place where you can take a master's degree and yeah, place where you can take a master's degree and PhD, I guess. No, bachelor. I don't know. Yeah, well, either way. And I was actually gonna work that weekend because I still had well, I basically talked to my boss and got it arranged so I could actually work every weekend, pretty much, and still go to school because that's almost mandatory over here. Like, there's no free lunch; you actually have to work and study to actually make ends meet. So that weekend, we were actually gonna be going to work together, or work together that weekend. And my brother passed on a... Well, I actually been to work on Friday, and I think we were gonna work together, me and Kiara, on a Saturday. And then I got got the news from my sister, and she basically told me that, well, you better sit down because our brother is in the hospital and it doesn't look great. That just kind of put me in a state of shock. So, but I mean, I still actually went to school the next following day. Stayed with some friends of mine for a couple of weeks until my parents got back from the U.S. Visiting my other sister living over there. So my brother passed, and I met Kiara. So the worst and best parts of my life at the same time. So she was a great help to me during that time. I mean, immensely help. Great help for me. And I probably wouldn't have made it so easily. Well, easily, I say easily, but I probably wouldn't have made it as well without her. So, but I mean, that is life. Life is chaotic, and you try to find meaning in everything. But my brother passing, like, he actually was about, yeah, he actually turned 39 when he passed. Same very day. So, once it saw me. But yeah, it was a lot at once, and I did well. It's kind of weird. I mean, we all deal with grief in various ways, and I didn't actually consider my and I love you too. I didn't actually consider that well, I didn't actually have time to process in a way. Like, I couldn't process it all while I was going to school, while I was working every weekend, and I was working night shifts as well. So every Friday I would get back, and I would basically lay down, get some sleep, and go to work when I woke up. And that was my routine for about half a year. And then I just felt drained. I mean, I didn't have energy, and I was about to hit the wall, which I've heard talk of, like people that push them too far and just hits that wall and just blam, and you just kind of drop. I mean, there's nothing you can do, and yeah, I mean, it's just, it hits you like all at once, and the fatigue from the body having to deal with you not processing what's going on in your head. So my sorrow came in waves, basically, or my grief came in waves. But eventually, I talked to the social counselor at my university, and she said, well, kind of sounds like you have a little bit much or too much on your plate right now. You should probably do half the courses this year. And, you know, you should probably check in with your work if you could, like, get a leave of absence for, like, half a year or something. It's like, yeah, well, I suppose that makes sense. So I did half the classes that year and finished that off, and I was going to keep on going the next year, but then I had sleep issues. I basically had trouble sleeping. I would stay up for, well, a long time. And that would then go to school, and yeah, I looked at my notes, and they were They were just awful. I couldn't actually function at all. So I dropped down and got back to work. Oh yes! Fantastic. And I'm missing metal strips. Oh well, either way, I am happy. That shit is helpful. So it's been about 4 years. And I mean, I still think about it now and then. I mean, I go to visits. Well, it's been a while since I last visited them, but his family basically. And when I go there, it always brings back memories. And you, sir, are alone. And it's kind of strange to actually walk into the house where he lived and where we had many great times together. So, and it always brings back memories. But like in the day-to-day thing, like I would just suddenly start thinking about him. And the great thing is, like, I have nothing but good things to say about my brother. I mean, he was a great guy, and part of his flaw was that he was kind. I mean, he wanted to provide for his family, and he worked himself to the bone for that. So, I mean, sometimes I wish he was a little bit more like, well, you know what, I'm not gonna do all of this work. I'm just gonna have enough to provide for myself and my family. But he went above and beyond, basically. No, that is... It's probably someone in the fence. Alright, so we'll take the chance. Okay. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. But I've thought about it a fair bit, but I mean, all of us are different. I mean, the way we deal with grief and loss of a loved one, I mean, that is part of life. And all I really can do is remember all the good times, and yeah, that's all there is to it. And we heal in different stages as well. Except from that guy, he's not gonna heal. Nope, he's still doing his thing. Nope. That's even a graveyard. I wonder if it's a shotgun that's doing less damage, or if I'm just bad at aiming right now. Little bit of both. And so still one guy in that thing. Wait, no. Just calm down. But life is a hurricane. I do I do envy those people that just kind of go, this is what I want to do. This is my purpose. I think that those people are in the minority. I had some friends of mine in school that did pretty well, and they just kind of decided this is what I'm gonna be, and they kind of just worked towards it. They put all their energy in it, and they became that person that I wanted to be in terms of education, in terms of work. And I do envy those people that just kind of popping up in the morning and it's like, yes, I'm gonna do this. But I actually don't think that the majority of people actually have that. So, let's see now. So I guess there's some comfort to be had in the masses, in a sense. But I'm kind of curious how the future will be. If those people that think that will be all without work in 20 or so years and just kind of doing whatever we want, I don't actually see a world like that happening. Ugh, of course. Alright, so there we go. And presto. Oh, come on. Well, I kinda got what I wanted to get. But I'm still lacking a book. Let's see, high charge. So, fusion cell charger. Well, I got that, but I still can make what I really want to make, which is a proper like charger for the car batteries, which kind of annoys me. But I mean, it is what it is. You have the same feeling about what my mind already wandered. You're thinking about going to bed, or what? Ah, yeah. I did read about, well, basically, there's always been manual labor, and at the expense of humans. I mean, as in sick leave and some people that's kind of broken their back over that work, or miners even. That's had a really hard time, and you basically expend yourself at the benefit of someone else. It's kind of it's kind of what like I feel that that the health industry is, in a sense, because who goes into healthcare? Well, that's usually people with a high level of empathy, and they will easily break themselves, like helping, like even if it's like the boss saying, well, you have to come into work even though you have the sniffles because this and this, and so easy to get fatigued in that sense. Like, you basically expend yourself because of someone else. Like, luckily here in Norway we have pretty decent laws that say that you can have, I think it's up to 8 days of sick leave with pay. After that you have to have like a, well, doctor's notes or something. So people that are ill for a long period of time, they actually end up in the system, and it kind of works. So people are taken care of, but I mean, when I think about a lot of these professions that are kind of strenuous to people. I mean, people that work their entire lives, and at the end of it, what do they have left? They got a broken back or a broken body, or even worse, broken minds, because they gave it their all, and at the end of the day, there's very few people that's just gonna say, well, thank you for your service. Even that would be something, but it's kind of like, well, he did his job, and as a result, he got broken somehow. So that's not really great. Stunta. So yeah, I read this article. That's kind of what I do now and then. I read a lot of articles, and I'm fascinated by research that's being done. And I read about the small startup in Norway. It's 4 people that basically was building robots, and they were making a tile laying robot. They were fresh out of university or college or whatever, I don't even know. And they had studied robotics. And there was this big contractor that was basically tasked with building a massive shopping center or shopping mall. And they had to hand drill in concrete, like the various cable gates, like for the electricity and whatnot. Nice of you to tell me that you're there. So they approximated, like, there was 250,000 holes to be drilled in really thick concrete. And in some cases, like, they had to go into narrow places, and of course, not an optimal work position. So what happened would be that person after person would do the job, and they would break. Some, I assume, will make a full recovery, but I mean, others might never work again. And this big-ass contractor basically said, well, we're losing people by the day. We're hemorrhaging money because we actually have to pay for sick leave and all that, and physical rehab and all that stuff for people. Do you guys have a solution for us? I mean, is there anything you guys could do? And they actually built a robot that does the drilling for you. Basically put it in place, and it starts doing the thing with laser precision. And I think that a lot of manual labor over time will disappear. But at the same time, you see stuff like in India or slightly poorer parts of the world that will actually have the textile industry where they're still hand sewing crap, but it's basically slave labor. And it's a lot of big brands, not only in US but also in Europe as well. What is that guy doing there? And horrible working conditions and low pay. So, but I might as well stop playing video games and start my talk show about random stuff that's on Jag's mind. Hey now. Are you gonna... Oh, okay, you're gonna break down the door and come out and play. But I find it kind of almost kind of funny. Then in the 1800s, during the Industrial Revolution and all that, there was a group of people that was worried that automated steam machines would actually take away work from people. And they actually broke a whole lot of machines to kind of protect their livelihood. And now we're back to big corporations outsourcing their production to places which are cheaper with well, what do you call it? Manual labor. And they're paying next to nothing for that. And not using machines. It's weird. So in some ways, we're actually moving backwards instead of forwards. And that to me is weird. But there's a lot of things that puzzle me. China, yes. Like Donald Trump likes to say, China, China, China. Yeah. There was a pretty decent bit by Vice how China is boosting their national BNP. And they're doing that by building like multiple cities basically popping up all over the map in China. It was actually a city that they built in the middle of, well, close to the border of Mongolia. And it had the capacity of about a couple of million people living there. In actuality, it was just a rural. I can't. That's gonna be a doozy. Rural. I can't make that stick. Well, you guys know what I mean, anyways. It was basically just like a very, very almost like a desolate place. Had 1,000 people living there in the middle of nowhere, and they built a city which could hold several millions of people. And you could basically go around town and just pick the building that you're gonna live in, and in some cases you could live there alone. It's like a 100 apartment building. Like, okay, I want that on the corner. Rural. Rural? Sounds weird to me. Then again, I'm not an American speaking dude. Well, I guess I do okay. I get by. It's not my main language though. That's my excuse. I'm gonna stick to that, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, that can't go on forever. We had the financial crisis of 2008 because of bad loans in the US. And I mean, Norway is a pretty stable country in terms of economy. But we actually felt the impact of that a couple of years later, and the place where I live, our messed up politicians had gambled with our money, and basically got in the bandwagon and thought that they would actually make a killing of this bad loans. Didn't turn out that way. Instead, we got heavily in debt, and we actually got on the list, which we have in Norway. Which, if like a well, county is in dire straits financially, they basically can't make any economic decisions themselves. They actually have to go through higher up political chains for them to actually be able to do stuff. And that was the case for us. We were, well, basically everything was being downscaled. Health sector, culture stuff, sports, everything. But in the end, we're finally out of it. But the fucked up part of it all is that none of the politicians involved got hung out to dry. It's not a single one. They all got away scot-free. They're still fucking around with stuff that they have no real tangible sense of what it even means. And that just pisses me off. They're supposed to work for the people. But in most cases, they just piss away our money on stupid shit. I mean, I do understand that in some cases you actually have to make tough decisions about what's viable. Nice of you to pop in, sir. And I get that. I mean, in some cases you actually have to make an unpopular choice for the betterment of everyone. Like, you actually have to make ends meet, and that's fine, I get that. But there's so many fucked up things that they're kind of putting our money into, and yeah. No accountability. That's just messed up. I don't even remember how I got onto the subjects anymore. That's just me in a nutshell, though. So, but yeah. Oh yeah, China. I mean, they are producing a shit ton of things. They wrestled pretty much every other country out of the rare earth minerals, which are used for electronics and the likes, by states subsidizing the industry. So they could do that shit for way cheaper than anyone else on the planet. And they turned the price so far down that none of the mines in any place in the world, be it US, Brazil, Africa, could actually run with a profit. And they closed down one by one. And they kept the prices low for several years until they raised it up again. And it was actually then that, I think it was the Pentagon or whoever that did like a report about that stuff. It's like, we're heavily reliant on China for this stuff. I mean, this is not viable. We actually have to get production started elsewhere. Damn the cost. And in every part, or in every kind of thing or item you create today, that's usually some rare earth minerals inside of that. And the name might be misleading, but there is a certain way to extract those minerals from the earth. And while everyone else in the world was closing down doors, China had a massive leap in terms of development, in terms of extracting that stuff. So they're still in the lead, and they're probably going to still be in the lead for quite a few years, unless some major breakthrough is done somewhere else. But sooner or later, this building boom that they have in China is sooner or later going to collapse. And right now, China is producing a ton of stuff, and for us consumers, that's going to change something. I'm sure of that. Somehow. And I'm kind of curious if that's going to be for the better or for the worst. Talk about taking a negative turn. That is crazy. Yeah. I wonder if I've been here, or if it's Forsaken that's actually been here. It's actually probably Forsaken. And I got so preoccupied with my train of thought that I even forgot to say hello. What's up, Locust? That's generally how I do. I mean, even if I'm building shit, I'm just kind of in a haze. Doing shit left and right, and yeah. A buddy of mine actually told me, like, yeah, you know, I've been watching you for a while. Hey, Mark. And he's basically telling me, like, you're kind of putting shit into boxes to get rid of stuff that you don't need from your inventory. And 5 minutes later, you need it, and you start looking through the boxes again. So I guess this is the place where Forsaken was, and that is a dog. That is a crawler. China and Japan is #1 city. Well, I suppose. I mean, I don't know. China is weird. Not the people living there, but the people governing it. And yeah, Japan also a little bit weird. Yeah, you were stateside, Locust, right? I don't even know if I'm saying that. Locusta. Is that even remotely close? I'm gonna go with that. Locusta. Because if you're stateside, then yeah, I kind of assume so. It's been a long day. Ah, right. Yeah, I'm not even gonna bother going in there. I mean, it's getting late, and I'll forget about the time, and I'm gonna be sandwich. Ah, Canadian. Or Canada. Canada? Canada. Blame Canada. And stuff. I actually have a couple of friends from Canada. A good friend of mine who played a fair bit of Arma. Arma 2. He's actually probably one of the most involved people in Arma, or the Arma community that I know. I mean, if you go on their forums, chances are he's had a reply somewhere in any of the posts, really. And he's also the guy who plays the least amount of Arma that I know. And at the same time, he's so heavily invested in the community. It's a great dude. And I'm just gonna assume that Forsaken took this route as well, cause empty trash. I thought it was gonna, well, I thought it was kind of funny to read. Well, funny is probably not the right word, but I thought it was interesting to read that Japan is actually one of the countries that actually has a negative population growth. That is peculiar to me. I mean, how some of the people over there actually focus more on the career than actually finding a person to settle down with. I mean, sure, there's a cultural difference. There's bound to be. Big ass place, and we divide ourselves by whatever. Well, by whatever makes us different, really. It's probably what it comes down to. And then we divide ourselves by region, and where we come from, and where we're born, and what we do, and our status in life. It's always boggled the mind in a sense. Well, my mind anyways. It's like, we in this area, we in this town, we in this country, we in this area of the world, we that are whatever, if we have a belief or not. Rather than focusing on what makes us the same. I almost think that I probably shouldn't do streams late at night, cause that's usually the time I get philosophical. Are you shitting me? Oh, it's a town. Oh, nice. I was about to say that is a wasteland, but I don't know if I can say that anymore. So, for a second, you've been here? That's what I want to know right now. It's gonna be nighttime. So I'm gonna try once more to, let's 42, 49, 56, 63. So the Fahrenheit should have been yesterday. Just to watch now. It's probably gonna be Fahrenheit tonight. Oh man. But, I mean, right now, at least I have mining outlets, so that is something. That is something indeed. So that's, 4, 5. So let's say 10. Roger Dodger. Should probably save the shotgun for bad times. And there was a guy standing on top of a hill, and he looked menacing, and we're not gonna go that way. Yes. Alright. This actually looks like this pretty big town. At least that's the way it looks. Nope. No collaborating time. Yeah, they look interesting. They have a tendency to explode on my server. I'm not sure if you've seen Live Free or Die Mod. It's pretty glorious. No place is really ever safe. Looks like it looks to be a pretty large town. Even if it's a small town. I actually think I'll set up camp here for tonight. Hello. Tip my hat off to you, sir. Zombies left, zombies front. Now, the fucked up part of this is that I'm actually running a program called Flux. It actually dampens the lights of the monitor. It's not as not to strain my eyes, and makes it almost impossible to see shit here. And oh man, that FPS is taking a tanking. Undetected for the time being. Zombie. And you guys are, well, doing shit, I suppose. So no feral night. That's good at least. Oh shit, it's actually already 2 AM here. Haha. Who knew? Sounds like his ketchup got squeezed. Alright, so plan is basic. I am actually gonna head. I'm gonna get up on this place, or into this house, and I'm basically just gonna chill here till, well, till tomorrow, basically. And I'm gonna get myself some sleep. My sleep pattern got all messed up. It's a sad, I sometimes get these headaches, and if I do, I generally just have to sleep until they pass. And yeah, I ended up actually staying up till 4:30. Yesterday, so I slept in pretty long before I actually went to work, evening shift and all. So it's kind of been a long night, or long day. So I'm actually gonna head off to bed, get me some sleep, and I'll probably resume this tomorrow morning. So thanks for dropping by, and apologies for the philosophical stuff. I do get philosophical at night. Either way, I hope you guys enjoy yourself, and have a good night, evening, whatever it may be, wherever you are. So I'll catch you guys later, and have a good one.